If you're trying to find out how to secure a global remote working opportunity, stick around. I'll provide the strategies that can help you faster than you can say pastel de nada. Who doesn't want to work remotely from a safe, chilled out, beautiful location? Turns out over 18 million Americans work abroad, a 131% increase since 2019. I've worked in Lisbon, Portugal for the past 3 years, and I can say without reservation, believe the hype. So if you're a mid-career professional or executive leader looking to transition into a remote role, you're in the right place. Maybe you're craving more flexibility. Maybe you're burned out from long commutes, rigid office politics, or simply ready for a change. Whatever your reason, know this: remote work isn't just for tech workers in their 20s or digital nomads backpacking through Bali. Remote work is for professionals like you. People with deep expertise, leadership skills, and the maturity to manage themselves. And here's the good news: your experience is a huge asset, especially for companies that are building remote or hybrid teams and need dependable talent who can work independently. So let's get into it. Here are 5 things you can do to land a remote job, even if you've spent most of your career in a traditional office environment. Number 1, reframe your experience for remote-first companies. Let's start with mindset. One of the biggest obstacles I see with mid-career professionals is not a lack of experience, but a lack of positioning. You've likely spent years developing expertise in your field. Maybe you've led teams, managed projects, or owned a department. But if your resume reads like you're only effective in a traditional office setting, that's going to be a problem. Remote-first companies aren't just looking for someone who can do the job, they're looking for people who can thrive in a self-managed environment. That means you need to reframe your experience to show that you're proactive, tech-savvy, and comfortable with autonomy. Start with your resume and LinkedIn profile. Add language like led virtual cross-functional teams across 3 time zones. Implemented remote onboarding processes for new hires. Collaborated asynchronously using Slack, Notion, and Loom. Even if you weren't in a fully remote job, chances are you used some remote-friendly practices during COVID or in hybrid roles. Don't downplay those. Highlight them. Show that you've already been working this way, even if it wasn't official. The goal is to present yourself not just as someone who can work remotely, but as someone who already has and did it well. Number 2, get clear on what kind of remote work you want. Remote work isn't one size fits all. For some people, it means working from home in their same role with the same company. For others, it means freelancing, consulting, or joining a startup halfway around the world. So before you start applying blindly to remote jobs, pause and get clear. Ask yourself, do I want full-time, part-time, freelance, or contract work? Do I want to stay in my current industry or try something new? Do I need a job that operates in my time zone? Am I okay with occasional international travel? This clarity helps you avoid wasting time on opportunities that aren't aligned. It also helps you tailor your messaging when you do apply. For example, if you want to work for a European company while living in the US, you'll need to be upfront about time zone overlap. Also, consider the type of remote work culture you thrive in. Some companies are async first, meaning communication happens via tools like Slack or Loom rather than constant Zoom meetings. Others mimic an office structure with a 9-to-5 setup. Knowing what suits your style helps you choose companies where you actually thrive, not just survive. Number 3, target remote-first companies, not just remote-friendly ones. There's a big difference between companies that offer remote work as a perk and those that have built their entire culture around it. The former might still have an in-office bias. The latter knows how to set up remote employees for success. That's why I recommend focusing your search on remote-first companies, those that were built to operate without a physical office. These companies tend to have clear documentation and expectations, strong asynchronous communication, remote-friendly benefits, a culture of trust and outcomes, not micromanagement. So to find these companies, skip the traditional job boards. Use sites like We Work Remotely, Remote OK, FlexJobs, and Remotive. and look for keywords in job descriptions like distributed team, async communication, global workforce, or location independent. These are signals that the company knows what it's doing when it comes to remote work. You can also check out LinkedIn by searching for remote roles in the location filter. The key is to be intentional. Don't just search for remote jobs, search for remote-ready employers. Number 4, network with people already working remotely. Here's the truth. Most great remote jobs never make it to a job board. They're filled through referrals, recommendations, or internal hires. That's why networking is just as important, if not more important, in the remote job market. So how do you network when you're not attending conferences or grabbing coffee with colleagues? Start by connecting with people who already work remotely in roles or companies that interest you. Reach out via LinkedIn, send a friendly message, and ask if they'd be open to a quick 15-minute chat about their experience. Keep it low pressure. You're not asking for a job, you're asking for insight. And so here are some example questions. What do you like most about working remotely for your company? What skills or tools helped you stand out in your job search? Do you have any advice for someone transitioning from a traditional office to remote work? These conversations can give you inside info on how companies hire, what they value, and how to stand out. Plus, once someone knows and likes you, they're more likely to keep you in mind when an opportunity comes up. You can also join remote work communities and Slack groups. There are also LinkedIn groups which offer chances to engage in conversations, share ideas, and expand your visibility. And number 5, show that you're remote friendly in the hiring process. Finally, when you do get to the interview stage, your job is to remove all doubt that you can succeed in a remote environment. You want to show that you're already remote ready, not someone who's trying to figure it out. So how do you do that? Talk about the tools you're familiar with: Slack, Zoom, Trello, Notion, Loom, ClickUp, etc. If you've used these tools in your previous roles, say so. Even better, describe how you use them to lead meetings, manage projects, or collaborate with teammates. Be specific. Instead of saying, "I'm great at remote collaboration," say, "In my last role, I used Loom to record async updates for my team, which helped cut down on meetings and improve clarity. I ran a weekly virtual stand-up on Zoom, followed by daily check-ins in Slack to keep my remote team aligned." Also, emphasize your self-management. Remote work demands that you're able to prioritize tasks, manage your time, and stay productive without someone watching over you. Consider saying something like this: "One of the things I enjoy most about remote work is the focus it allows. I've developed systems to stay organized and accountable, and I'm happy to walk you through them." When you do this well, you're not just telling them that you're remote ready, you're proving it. Remote work is not a passing trend, it's a permanent shift, and mid-career professionals like you are uniquely positioned to take advantage of it. You have the experience, you have the skills, now it's just about positioning yourself as the professional who can lead, manage, and deliver value without needing to sit in an office. So to recap: 1. Reframe your experience to highlight remote-ready skills. 2. Get clear on the kind of remote work and lifestyle you want. 3. Focus on remote-first companies that are built for distributed work. 4. Build relationships with people already working remotely. And 5. Show your remote readiness throughout the hiring process. But here's the most important factor. Once you have all of this in place, you still have to beat the competition to win a remote working opportunity. Because guess what? A lot of people want remote work roles. Who doesn't want to work in Portugal, the south of France, Zanzibar, Bali, New Zealand, or Uruguay? Hint: thousands of people do. To help you win remote working opportunities or any competitive job you desire, I've created the Career Transition Blueprint. The core of the blueprint is a 10-module program that covers everything you need as a mid-career professional or executive to land your next job, from maintaining a positive mindset, to understanding your career algorithm, to refining your resume and LinkedIn profile, to acing your interviews and final round case presentation, to negotiating a competitive compensation package package, and more. The blueprint also includes bi-weekly Q&A sessions with me, an exclusive LinkedIn networking community, a monthly newsletter, and exclusive access to my 70-episode podcast archive. This entire platform will be available at our special launch price through the first week of May, so make sure you take advantage of these incredible savings. Working remotely from seaside cafes in Portugal, Kenya, Barbados, the south of France, Bali, or New Zealand, it is possible. I know. Thousands of people like me do it every day, and thousands of others are making plans to do it soon. And with the right strategies, you can too. I'm Rory Verrett. I'll see you next week on our next episode.